Hey guys, good morning. Former President Trump and Vice President Harris are back on the campaign trail with just 11 days until the election. Today, Trump will sit for an interview with podcasting giant Joe Rogan at Rogan's studio in Austin, Texas. He's also expected to take part in campaign events in Texas and Michigan. The Harris campaign is saying the vice president will not be doing Rogan's podcast because of scheduling conflicts. On Sunday, the former president is holding a massive rally in deep blue New York City at Madison Square Garden. House Speaker Mike Johnson is reportedly attending the sold-out event. Meanwhile, Trump appearing stunned by Harris, claiming that the White House has done the right thing when it comes to the border. Listen.
She said, quote, "I think we did the right thing."
Wait a minute. That she's handling it correctly?
Correct.
She said that?
She said that. She said, quote, "I think we did the right thing."
We allowed 21 million people in. We allowed 13,099 murderers. We allowed mental institutions from all over the world. If she said that, look, she's a grossly incompetent person. And if she said that, they had the worst border in history.
I spoke exclusively with Trump campaign senior advisor Tim Murtaugh, who shared the Trump campaign's closing message to voters, saying, quote, "Kamala Harris for the last 4 years has wrecked the economy and the border. Donald Trump will fix both of them." Murtaugh telling me that the beauty of this election cycle is that everybody who is going to vote has lived through the Trump years and the Harris years. Quote, "They have experienced both administrations. When Trump was president, the economy was fantastic, inflation was non-existent, the border was secure, and the world was at peace." Meanwhile, Harris will be in Houston, Texas today for a rally where Beyonce is expected to perform. This after holding a star-studded campaign event in Georgia yesterday where Bruce Springsteen performed and also called out Trump.
Donald Trump is running to be an American tyrant. He does not understand this country, its history, or what it means to be deeply American.
Harris was also joined by former President Barack Obama at the rally, slamming Trump and doubling down on her economic policies.
Over the last years, and in particular the last 8 years, Donald Trump has become more confused, more unstable, and more angry. You see it every day.
She got a plan to make your life better. She's going to go after corporations that unfairly jack up prices. She's going to make it easier to build and buy a home.
Harris will head back to Michigan on Saturday for a campaign event with Michelle Obama.
Welcome to the final presidential race at the Downs. They're at the gate, and they're off. Jumping out in the lead is Joe has dementia, and no, he doesn't, with shocking reality close behind. It's Joe has dementia and shocking reality. And now here comes a disastrous debate. A disastrous debate falls back as Kamala takes the reins. The honeymoon falls off quickly as word salad and cackling hyena move into position. And here comes nasty attitude, followed by no children and drinking heavily. Coming down the back stretch. Drinking heavily, moving ahead of word salad, but coming on the inside is bumbling interviews. It's bumbling interviews followed by I grew up in a middle-class family, nasty attitude, and I love Venn diagrams. A wide open border challenging for second going into the clubhouse turn. Passing on the rail is fake black accent, followed by I grew up in a middle-class family, fake Latin accent, and my husband slaps me. Here they come, spinning out of the turn, word salad in the lead, but here comes unburdened by what has been. Biden was stronger and disappointed. Barry are neck and neck, and down the stretch they come. I did the fries is pulling away from I did the Willie Brown by a length. But coming in strong is Cut the Interview. Cut the Interview is passing awkward cringe. And I grew up in a middle-class family, and at the wire, it's nasty attitude. Word salad, a campaign in shambles, and at least I ain't Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been on the road, okay? We've been on the road. We've been hit. We did like 3 events in the last couple of days. It's nothing like what Donald Trump's been doing, but I am fighting a small cold. I also have small children, so who knows where it all comes from. But ladies, we're gonna push through. We're gonna win. I am like cackling like Kamala with that meme, Jerry. That's one of the newest masterpieces. I'm not sure it's the best meme ever, but it's a multi-level masterpiece. It's genius, Jerry. It's genius, Jerry. What you got going on in there, Jerry? It's incredible. Well done. Well done. Oh, man, that was a good one. I didn't need that this morning because my throat already hurts. I didn't need it. I'm hacking, cackling like Kamala up in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy the roasting of Kamala. We don't have many more days left. It's done. They're fit. It's done. The rats are starting to turn on each other. We've reached the rat eat rat part of the campaign. This is why they call them Demorats. This is why you call them that. Because the rats eat each other. They say rats flee the ship. Why do rats flee the ship? Because they live in the holes of the ship. And when the ship starts to break, the rats know first. So when you see a rat fleeing a ship, you're like, yo, something's wrong with that ship. Let me tell you what. Kamala Harris's campaign is a piece of shit. And it is breaking up right now. We're going to cover it all today, Friday, October 25th, 2024, for Free for All Friday. Democrats publicly panic over Kamala's failing campaign. Media now talking about Trump winning the popular vote. Where have I heard that before? We're going to sprinkle some salt, ladies and gentlemen, today. Former chief of staff to the vice president, Nick Ayers, joins the show. We talked about fact-checking and debunking all the hoaxes against Donald Trump. Well, guess what? We're going to have the man himself, the man who was in the room, in the arena. Maybe you've heard of Nick Ayers. Maybe you haven't. But you should. He's the guy who knows everything that happened inside the Donald Trump White House because he was physically present for it. He's going to be on the program today to nuke the fake news. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. What do we got? Over the last couple of days, you may notice that the entire team's eyes are bloodshot. You may have seen on social media. I mean, Killer Klein's over here just chugging coffee. The zins are flying through the studio. We got nicotine. I think the team slept in the studio last night. I don't know how we got in late last night. I think they slept in the studio. And they had a nicotine pillow. They had a very large zin. Tucker Carlson is like the dealer for my studio now. He's like the straight up dealer. Somebody arrest that man. They have like a nicotine pillow that they all slept on. Incredible. Anyway, the point is, it's gonna get wilder. Trust me, the wheels are already off. Train has no brakes. Okay. What I'm telling you is that I'm staying clean. Okay. I'm staying clean. No mainline narcotics for you, boy. Just one thing, caffeine, the sweet, delicious black caffeine of Blackout Coffee will be coursing through my veins as we power through the end of this election. We're giving speeches. We're getting shout outs from Trump. We're going into the hood. We did that all day yesterday. We spent all day yesterday in Fannie Willis's backyard. Big old backyard. That's why you call her Big Fannie. Ladies and gentlemen, we were handing out MAGA hats, and we had the energy. We brought the energy. It's so exciting, so much fun, and we got so much more to do. Blackout Coffee keeps us going, baby. blackoutcoffee.com/Benny. Use the coupon code Benny for 20% off your first order. blackoutcoffee.com/Benny. Be awake, not woke. You can find them on Public Square. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Yesterday, we were in the hood with Forgiato Blow in Atlanta. Here we are wearing MAGA hats, black barbershops, just walking up down the street, handing out MAGA hats. Let me tell you what. They went like hotcakes. Like hotcakes. We were across the street from Chick-fil-A, where Donald Trump went to Chick-fil-A, the same Chick-fil-A Donald Trump went to. And I think we were more popular than Chick-fil-A. I think we were more popular than Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Ladies and gentlemen, these MAGA hats were great. This video will be up on Sunday. Sunday. MAGA hats in the hood. Fulton County. One of the most dangerous counties in America. One of the most Democrat counties in America. County that wants to put Donald Trump in prison. County that gave us the Trump mugshot. That was hard AF. Unlike Feminem, who's a little bitch. Feminem, who's now on the same side as Dick Cheney. Feminem, who is crying. He's like crying and weeping and endorsing Kamala Harris. Bro, no. We brought a real rapper. Forgiato Blowout with us. There was no love for Eminem in the streets, man. Let me tell you what. No love for Eminem in the streets. I will not rap again. I will not rap again. Okay? I will not. But I'll tell you this. You gotta essentially just pack your balls up. If you make your entire career about rapping how much you hate Dick Cheney and the Cheney family, literally name drop Dick Cheney in like 20 different raps about how much you hate him. And then when you're a senior citizen, get down on your little knees and grovel to side with Dick Cheney, the same politics as Dick Cheney. You're now on the same side. You're part of the same party. You fraud. Oh, man. This channel hates Eminem, okay? Like, let it be known, okay? Let it be known. This channel, we are Eminem haters. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing can stop what's coming. This morning from Axios, something alarming happened. But not for you. But not for you. Somebody call an ambulance. But not for me. Right? As the meme goes. Someone call an ambulance. But not for me. Ha 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 ha. You knew. Because literally the first show we did this week, first or second, ALX, I think it was Tuesday actually, ALX. We told you this was happening. We told you, you knew. We told you this was happening. You were ahead of the game by 72 hours. We scooped Axios by 72 hours. I don't have a publication. I don't want a publication, okay? I'm not gonna sit there. We're not gonna sit there and write this up. I did that for a lot of my career, okay? We're gonna stream it. We're gonna live stream it. The streaming is the source of the news for us, okay? We're gonna stream it. So this is us breaking the news to you. ALX. Oh, and I'm sorry. Robbie saying don't curse. I apologize. Eminem brings it out of me. Okay, I apologize. Yeah, I'm allowed. I will allow myself a single curse. A single curse per show. Maybe I'll bleep myself. Maybe I should have a big red button. I can bleep myself, right? When I curse. I'm not sure. We'll work it out. Eminem deserves it, though. I apologize. Eminem deserves it. Here we go. Behind the curtain, Democrats fear they're blowing it. Now, I'm not gonna be as smug as to like go in and show you the clips of us explaining this. Okay, we have them. This is why we do these shows. We predicted before even the debate that Joe Biden would be dropping out. Before the debate, we did shows showing like Joe Biden is about to drop out. Then the debate happened. Then everything accelerated, and this audience was ahead of the curve. On Tuesday, we did a show telling you that Democrats already know that they've lost, that the internal campaign emails, that the internal campaign communications, that the overall vibe of the campaign is we've lost this election. We've blown it, which is actually the way that Kamala Harris started her career and the way that she's going to end her career, blowing it. Ladies and gentlemen, you knew about this. We had sources that were telling us this days ago. And here we are in Axios, breaking the internet this morning. Let's read. Let's read what we already know. But it's nice. It's nice to see that some of the most powerful reporters in Washington, D.C., Mike Allen and Jim Vandehei, have caught up to the Benny Show. Here we go. A growing number of top Democrats tell us privately that they feel Vice President Kamala Harris will lose, even though polls show a coin toss finish. That's not true. Idiots. Why does it matter? Let me take a moment there. Excuse me, and tell you that there's never been, Alex, tell me if I'm wrong here. There's never been a better day to be a Trump supporter when it comes to the polls. There's never been a better polling day in the history of Donald Trump presidential cycles. This is the best polling day, and this is a compounding great polling day with many, many other great polling days. But today happens to be particularly incredible for Donald Trump. It does not actually show a coin toss. Every single meter and metric is showing the race breaking, snapping for President Trump, actually. The red lights are flashing, as they say. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have this report that doesn't show a coin toss, but whatever. Let's continue. Why it matters. Democrats admit that they tend to be hand-wringing, bedwetting doomsayers. Okay, fair. But what's striking is how our private conversations with Democrats inside and outside of the campaign reveal broad concern that little does, says, or tries to move the needle. This is after Democrats spent $1 billion, nearly twice as much as Republicans over the past 3 months, to polish her image and soil former President Trump's. But unfortunately, the only people soiling themselves is Joe Biden. And he's doing so in public. That's not part of it. That should be part of the copy here, but it's not. Trump and allied committees raised about half of Harris's total $92 million in October. New York Times reports this morning. Oh, well, what do you know? So just throwing gobs of money at people that already hate you, that doesn't work anymore? Isn't that amazing? Just trotting out a bunch of celebrities that are all lubed up in the Diddy videos, the Diddy tapes, trotting out a bunch of these celebrities, really upset that they have to take their own private planes now instead of Epstein's, really angry that they have to sit on their own couches instead of Harvey Weinstein's casting couch. Yeah, those people don't connect with the working class. Shocker! This after Trump's cringy 40-minute on-stage sway to 80s music, his threats to target his enemies within, calling his opponent retarded, and shit. There's another curse. My apologies. And having his former White House chief of staff say he's a fascist and talk admiringly of Hitler. So they're saying this without dispute. This is alleged, you dumb jackasses. And I am about to have actually somebody on here, Nick Ayers, will be joining us in moments, who's going to actually repudiate all of this. So instead of having hacks who don't have the guts to put their names to these allegations, Nick Ayers will. He was the chief of staff for the vice president, so he would know. Between the lines, we're not saying Harris is losing or will lose, and earlier behind the curtain spelled out why this is a toss-up. Our reporting simply reflects scores of conversations with people close to Harris and intimately involved in swing state races, including officials inside of our campaign and top Biden administration officials. Harris's rhetorical journey has mirrored Democratic moods from joy over the summer to darkness this week as she painted Trump as a dangerous fascist. In a troubling sign for the campaign, top Democrats are already starting to point fingers at who's more responsible for the Harris loss. President Biden for dragging his feet, or Harris herself. Going down, a top Democratic official texted us. Going down? All right. It's like you guys are really trying to get the channel taken. You guys are really trying to get the channel taken down with double entendres here. What are you talking about? Going down? Kamala is blowing it? Why don't you just title it that? I'm just quoting the article. Democrats fear she may have had too many different cases against Trump and still hasn't fully revealed herself to voters who crave to know more. Do they really? Do they really? I think most voters are saying this. It's more like the Office Space line. Like, what would you say you do here? I filed the TPS reports. I prosecuted transnational games. No, you haven't. No, you actually haven't. You've prosecuted Jack, lady. You prosecuted nothing. She has no prosecutorial record. She's been a lawyer, and even that is like up for dispute, because breaking this morning, apparently she got into law school under very strange circumstances, Kamala Harris has like some type of, had some type of like, she didn't have the proper threshold LSAT score. So she had to be a part of some special disadvantaged program, but she's not disadvantaged. Kamala Harris's parents are rich, tenured professors. She lived in like a neighborhood filled with mansions in the leafy suburbs of Montreal. She went to a very elite school for high school. She's not disadvantaged at all. Did Kamala Harris lie to get into college? Yeah, I think voters have seen enough, Axios. She is who she is, one longtime Democrat strategist said. Let's hope it's enough. That's never good. Oh man, what if your wife talked about you like that? Oh boy, he is who he is. Let's hope he gets the job done. Wouldn't be great. Not a great sign for your marriage. Democrats say Harris faces a maddening double standard as Trump threatens to jail adversaries. Oh, really? Really? Oh, it's Trump who's threatening political. The guy who's facing a millennia in prison for like an accounting error and for free speech. The way that they write these things, these groveling, these people, they're such jackwagons. The way they write the stuff is so grotesque. He gets to be lawless. She has to be flawless, says Van Jones. Oh, good. Okay. It's almost like Van Jones was giving the old Muppet talking points. Let me tell you, Van Jones did not come up with that by himself. He gets to be lawless. Sounds awesome, actually. Freaking cowboy president. Isn't that what you want? Don't you want a president with a mugshot? Hell yeah, kings. Harris's closing ads focus on Trump as unhinged, unstable, and unchecked. Okay? Really? You know, the thing is about calling Trump Hitler and all this, you know, we actually saw him be president for 4 years, right? Did he just forget to be Hitler? Is that what he did? He just forgot? I forgot I'm Hitler today. What did I think? I forgot to look in the mirror, actually. Shave my mustache. Like we all saw Trump move the embassy to Jerusalem. We all watched them name the Golan Heights after Trump. You know, there's an entire like section of Israel named after Trump. There's like photos of it and everything. I've been there. I've physically been there. There's a giant sign that they like named part of the Holy Land after Trump because he was such a friend to Israel. Trump's daughter married into a Jewish family. He's got Jewish grandkids. Memorialized October 7th with Ben Shapiro and in some type of rabbinical setting. Boy, guy's doing a really terrible Hitler impression, actually. And as we mentioned yesterday, Chuck Schumer, who's Jewish. That's amazing. Oh man, Klein, I see what you're cooking up over there. All right, put it up, my dog. Put it up. There it is. Trump Heights. Wow. You know, if you live in Israel, you can go move to Trump Heights if you want. Pretty, I don't think they'd name anything after Hitler in Israel. Just a guess. It's a wild guess. We also saw Chuck Schumer broing out with Hitler the other day. You know, this is like actually having the opposite effect, just like everything. You know, what man intends for evil, God intends for good. It's having the opposite effect. We have proof of that. We have undecided voters doing town halls, and they're like, your closing argument is that Trump's Hitler? That's it? And some tabloid piece? Some like tabloid piece that like, that doesn't even make sense? That's it? That's your closing argument? You clearly can't win on the issues, can you? It's amazing. It's amazing. ladies and gentlemen. So there it is. Trump, it says Trump Heights right there. I've seen that sign. I've been to this neighborhood. There's Netanyahu right there, welcoming everyone. Not many neighborhoods in Israel named after Hitler, I don't think. Just a guess. I don't know everything about Israel. There he is. There he is. I do know that Chuck Schumer's Jewish. And here he is, and he's a very powerful Democrat. And here he is, broing out with Trump. There you go. Look at these two. Having a time of their lives. Oh, boy. This is going to be a career ender for old Chucky. Oh, man. Career ender. Look at that. Just having a great old time over some milky, milky coffee. What a mess. The big picture. A common gripe among high-level Dems is that Harris does a nice job of explaining why people shouldn't vote for Trump. Does she really? But struggles to crisply explain why they should vote for her. Fine. Okay, fine. In other words, she's a strong prosecutor, but she struggles as a public defender. No, she's not. She's not either. She's not either. Here's a good question for Axios. Hey, Axios. Hey, Mike Allen, Jim Van Dyke. Hey, can you? You have such a austere, rigorous journalistic outlet here at Axios. Why don't you go find me a case that Kamala Harris prosecuted? I got one for you. Since Kamala Harris is in the public domain, right? She's been sucking off the taxpayer teat for quite a long time. Surely you can find me a case that she's prosecuted, right? We can go see her arguments, see the way that she's presented her case and put everything together. Yeah? No? You can't? Oh, you're saying she's a strong prosecutor here. Hey, find me a case she's prosecuted. You know, what's very interesting is that Kamala Harris used to say that she's prosecuted hundreds of cases. Then she had to walk that back to 50. Then she had to walk it back to 30. Now, under review and a bunch of Records Act requests, that number has been walked down to 10. Do you know that Kamala Harris is now having to admit that she may have prosecuted like one case or less by herself, where she was the lead chair, as they would say in the legal profession? Oh my. It's all a lie. Incredible. Reality check. Harris inherited a very tough hand. Here they go, blaming Biden. Good old Biden. He'll be the punching bag till the end. Establishing and executing a campaign for president starting just 3.5 months before the election. Well, whose fault is that, Axios? Wow, they leave that part out. We can't ignore, the bottom line, we can't ignore the reality that no matter what Harris says or does, the country has never elected a woman president, only once elected a black president, never elected a black woman. God, that's look at him already wish casting. Look at him already do it. Look at him do it. Look at him already do it. That's incredible. They're already wish casting. Oh, America's racist. That's why. That's why. Toss in broad concerns about immigration and inflation, and that's a lot to overcome, her advisors say. Her advisors are already saying she's finished. Well, ladies and gentlemen. This article enrages me, but it's all the rage right now. Everybody's sharing it. And this is going to become the signal piece for Democrats to finally, flee the ship, right? And start blaming each other. It's the rats fleeing the ship. In this article, you have the compounding projection of the further hoaxes against Donald Trump. It is grotesque. It is humiliating. I know Mike Allen. How dare he? He's not like my friend or anything, but we've communicated before. I'm going to text him after this. Not like he cares. He doesn't care. How could you actually continue to say, again, and I'm just going to read you a line and then we're going to bring in Nick Ayers, who knows better, right? The guy who was actually in the arena, the guy who was actually in the room with Trump. his former White House chief of staff say he's a fascist and talked admiringly of Hitler. Okay, they say this unquestioningly, as though like it's just like that's just what it is. But actually, that's not what it is. These rounds of attacks on Trump have been debunked time and time and time again, and we are honored, ladies and gentlemen, to have on Nick Ayers on live right now to talk about whether these hoaxes actually happened. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Nick, thanks for joining us again. We really do sincerely appreciate. It's a strange way to start an interview, but your diaper brand. We do appreciate Every Life as an awesome brand of diaper that Nick and I have worked together with, and since I have little kids, diapers are my life, and so I just want to say thank you. However, I did want to set the table here that you may have a huge market if you got into adult diapers, because there's going to be so much need for that with like half the country come November.
Yeah, in about 12 days, we may sell out. If we were in that vertical, we would not be able to produce enough.
Yes, and I mean, that's true. And I used to think that maybe that would just be for Joe Biden, but actually, it turns out it's probably for every single staff member at the Atlantic, maybe Axios, who is sort of like unquestioningly fomenting and continuing what has to just simply be one of the most egregious and easily debunked lies of the Trump presidency. But I wasn't in the room, Nick. You were. So why don't you tell me what's true, given the allegations that Donald Trump is some Hitler sycophant who, loves Hitler? Right.
Well, it is so easy to debunk that you almost don't know where to start, Benny. But as I said yesterday, first and foremost, I know the president personally. He's my friend. I know his heart, and unequivocally, it did not happen. The notion that he would have said such things or espoused such views, and somehow this would have been kept a secret for 4 to 5 years from the American people on itself is outrageous. What Goldberg and others know at the Atlantic, they know the way that White House operated and that White House worked. We would barely have meetings finished where there were internal policy or political positions being deliberated. And by the time we walked out of the meetings, they were being printed in the New York Times or Axios or the Atlantic or others. And so had the president ever come close to saying, thinking, espousing those views, promoting those ideas, it would have been a national news story instantly. So just logic tells us that it's completely phony and made up, but also their motives are clear. Why would you throw such a Hail Mary 10 days, 11 days before an election? Well, you do it because their candidate is losing, and she's losing badly. Yeah. They have nothing else to pivot to, Benny. They can't discuss the border, which they've been in charge of disastrously for 4 years, which has led to, not only fentanyl deaths, but the death of Laken Riley and many others like her. A tragic situation out in Athens, Georgia, where you have this beautiful, young, innocent young woman going to college at Augusta University, visiting friends in Athens at the University of Georgia, and was murdered by someone who not only freely walked across the southern border, but Kamala Harris's policies were welcoming millions of people like this murderer who took Laken Riley's life, unvetted, unverified. If they were arrested or prosecuted, they were immediately released back into our major cities or college universities. The people supporting Kamala Harris can't defend that. They can't defend the economy where rising inflation has crushed working families in this country, whether it's at the pump or buying bread or milk or clothes for your children. All these prices are up. So they can't talk about the economy, and they certainly can't talk about national security or foreign policy, because we have a war in Eastern Europe. We have a war in the Middle East, and we're on the brink of a war in Asia, which would lead to a third world war. And that's what their policies in 3 short years, whether it's the border, the economy, or national security, they can't discuss the merits or the facts of any of those issues. And so what do you do when you're desperate 2 weeks before the election? You pull the Hitler card. And it is, I don't weigh into politics often these days. I've said very little about my time at the White House, though I'm very proud of my tenure, my relationship with the president and the senior staff, and the work that we were all able to accomplish during those 4 years. But when I read that, honestly, when I read it initially, I thought, well, we don't need to comment. It will get no attention. This is so egregious. And yet when I saw it taking over and consuming the national news media, I felt it was important, having been in the room with General Kelly and those other generals and the national security team and the economic team for those years that I was there, that entirely overlapped the time that General Kelly was there, that it's just not believable. It's an egregious lie. It didn't happen. It's patently false. There's no other way to say it. And so while I think the story has gotten a lot of attention, my view as someone who spent 15 years running Senate campaigns and gubernatorial campaigns around the country, is it's got no traction with the American people. This is now the 3rd October in a row where President Trump's on the ballot in a presidential election cycle where in 2 previous cycles, it had major impacts. In October of 16, he was able to overcome it. In October of 2020, he was not. This time, I don't believe it will have the desired impact. And in fact, I think it'll backfire, because even their voters, I believe, will have the wisdom, at least some of their voters will have the wisdom to say, man, we must be desperate if this is what we're talking about 10 days before an election.
So, Nick, I know you're a very upstanding person, but and we do our best, right, on this program to laugh at the news cycle and to laugh at the absurdity of it all. But here's this photo. Nope, need the photo back. Here's this photo of you and John Kelly, and I know you work with this homie, and I know that you guys were probably in plenty of meetings that you can never discuss and cannot talk about, and you have the dignity to simply let your work stand for itself. Yeah, here's this guy who, for some reason, having been brought into the inner sanctum and get Donald Trump's trust, is making up lies about the American president, the leading candidate for president, being a Hitler sycophant. Is John Kelly a liar?
Well, it's tough to question the integrity of a 4-star general who, when he was active in the military, served the country admirably, and I'm forever grateful.
I'm not talking about his service, Nick.
No.
I'm not here to come for John Kelly's service.
You got to
what has he done on the record? Yeah.
So you've got to disaggregate the two, and I want to be clear about that, because he wore the uniform, he served, and I will forever be grateful for that. However, when I read what he said, and he has not denied saying it, it was too much. It was too far. And on this, it's an absolute lie. And as painful as that is to process, working so closely with someone that at the time you have tremendous respect for him. Yeah. At the time, the President Trump had tremendous respect for him. But to wait 4 years, or in his case, 5 years and 10 days before an election,
right,
to manufacture something is inexcusable. And we all make mistakes. We all fall short. I'm not perfect. I fall short every day. In this case, it is a lie. It is patently false. It's unacceptable. And I hope he does the right thing and retract it and apologize.
I don't understand how stupid they think the American people are. As you said, and I think this is just worth reiterating, I don't like going back around the racetrack, but dude, every single time a paperclip was dropped in that White House, it was in the news, it was in CNN, it was breaking Jim Acosta, man. It was like a CNN, it was up. So they were able to keep the fact that Trump loves Hitler away from the American people for 3.5 years, for 3 years and 11 months. That was the most closely guarded secret in America. Really.
Right. And that's why, whether it's Maggie Haberman, who covered the White House more closely than anyone, Maggie Haberman would have known this within 60 seconds of the president saying it. Okay. Yeah. It's also not believable because who was actually the highest ranking advisor that had the biggest impact on the Trump administration besides President Trump? Jared Kushner.
Interesting.
Someone of the Jewish faith, his son-in-law, who he loves, respects, and has had a fantastic, unimpeachable relationship with. Do you think Jared Kushner would have sacrificed 4 years of his life to put together the Abraham Accords and work in partnership with his father-in-law every day, if his father-in-law were saying these things? No one would have, by the way. No one would have. But it's so absurd. The president has the opposite view of such matters. He has deep respect for the Jewish people. He's been the strongest ally of Israel in mine and your lifetime. The Abraham Accords would not have happened. He created Middle East peace, which Israel was the chief beneficiary of. Every previous president prior to him had campaigned on moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, only to backtrack to voters and the Israelis and not do it. Who did it? President Trump did it. None of the evidence, none of the facts support any of these allegations. So it's not like you've got to stretch to debunk this. From a policy standpoint, it's a lie. From a political standpoint, it's a lie. From a logical standpoint of the way information leaked out of that White House, it's obviously a lie. And then when you factor in, okay, why would you say this 12 days before an election? Oh, it's because you're losing in every swing state. It's because you can't talk about the material issues like the economy, the border, and national security, which you've been in charge of. You've had total control of for 4 years. You can't talk about any of those. So let's pull this card out. 5 years ago in American politics, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it would have been the October surprise. It would have changed the dynamics of this race. The American people are onto it. The only people this is inspiring and ginning up are those who've already decided to believe all the other lies about President Trump and his family. It's the people still repeating that somehow he was a Russian asset for 2016, something that even Jim Acosta and CNN have since said, yeah, okay, that actually didn't happen. Those are the people that would be inspired by such a ridiculous story and no one else.
Nick, I have a last closing personal question for you here, which is, and you feel free not to answer, but would you ever consider moving to Trump Heights in the Golan Heights? This is an entire neighborhood that has been dedicated to Donald Trump in Israel. There's no Bill Clinton neighborhood in Israel. There's no Joe Biden neighborhood in Israel. Know that for sure. And there's definitely no Barack Obama neighborhood in Israel.
I can't imagine why.
But Nick, you could realistically go buy a home in Trump Heights right now in the Golan Heights and go live there. Bibi Netanyahu sort of christening this new development there because of Donald Trump and his strong stance towards Israel.
Yeah, there's only one core issue with my being able to live there. There aren't enough largemouth bass and white-tailed deer in the Golan Heights to satisfy me. Otherwise, it would be a fantastic place to be. But
yeah, that's right.
I'm into hunting and fishing and loving every day, and that's probably not happening there. Otherwise, it'd be fantastic.
Nick, really briefly, man, we're a few days away. Give us the closing argument for Trump. Well, you know Trump as good as really anyone alive, quite frankly, from a political and business perspective. Give us that closing argument, man. What's going to happen in the next couple of days?
Well, we don't have to believe anything I say other than look at his record. He made America safe again. He made America strong again from a foreign policy standpoint. He made America grow again economically. I love what he's doing with this new twist of making America healthy again. But this is a person that if you just put your blinders on, Benny, and we take all the politics and rhetoric and rumors and lies and spin out of it, and you just say, let's compare what he did for 4 years versus what Kamala Harris had the opportunity to do for 4 years, which is the country we want to raise a family in, irrespective of how you feel about the individuals. From a facts and policy standpoint, what is the country you want to raise a family in? And unequivocally, for me and my family, it's an easy choice, and it's a proud choice. He's going to do exactly what he's campaigning on doing, and we don't have to take his word for it. We can look at his last 4 years in office. He delivered on what he said he would do, and I believe in less than 2 weeks he will win the presidency again. And come next January, he will be our president again, and that's a day I very much look forward to.
It's gonna be glorious, man. From your mouth to God's ears, and I think God's got us. I gotta be perfect. I said this at the Georgia rally 2 nights ago, man. If God was done with America, I think that Donald Trump would have eaten a bullet. But I think that the divine powers spared his life, and we are living through a spiritual moment of great reawakening right now. You can feel it. Those who are tuned in, dude, can feel the energy.
Yeah, there's something bigger going on, and I often, that's the bottom line. Is you're right about that, and I have made it a point to pray for his safety in the coming few weeks and post-election and his family. And it's easy to treat these characters almost like they're movie characters, right? Like that's not reality. When you know them and you see the impact that has on his wife and his children, these are real people. And irrespective of the way you feel about them, I believe they're worthy of our prayers. And because it's been, to say what has happened to his family is unfair is a wild understatement with what they've withstood, and the fortitude and the strength and the courage and the commitment. And it's something I told him recently, the last time I saw him in person, that I had even more respect for him today than when I was serving with him every day in the White House. And I was proud to serve with he and the vice president and that whole team. But watching what he's endured since then, and the fact that he has not surrendered or given up, all not for himself, it would have been in his best interest, right? He much better, much happier life. He could be at Turnberry playing golf. He could be at Mar-a-Lago in Bedminster, living the life of luxury and leisure, and never dealing with a reporter again, never dealing with a debate or a voter again. And he's chosen not to. And why would he do that? Why would he do that? He's already accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish. He's doing it because he loves the country. And he's committed to working with people like Elon Musk to save the First Amendment, our freedom of speech. This is no longer, Benny, as you know, an election of Republicans and Democrats or conservatives and liberal. This is something much bigger of, are we going to accept not even socialism at this point? They're beyond that. Are we ushering in an era of Marxism and the end of freedom of speech and democracy in this country? Or are we going to preserve freedom and capitalism and excellence and the American way, and preserve the Judeo-Christian values that made this country great? That's what's on the ballot. It's not Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. It's something much bigger, much more important. And I not only do I pray for that outcome in less than 2 weeks, but I'm confident of it. The last thing I would say to your listeners is Donald Trump creates a lot of momentum in elections. His base, our voters, just need to know loud and clear, momentum doesn't win elections, votes do. And we have to vote, and we have to take people with us who have never voted. And we cannot, as good as it feels right now, it's all irrelevant if we don't act on it. I'd like to point out the lengths of which I see people going to as an example of what we should all be doing. Kelly Loeffler, former senator, very successful businesswoman, unbelievable family here in Georgia, her and Jeff Sprecher. Not only have they given millions of dollars to President Trump and outside groups, Kelly Loeffler this last week as a billionaire and former U.S. senator, you know what she's doing? She's a poll watcher. She's a poll watcher in Georgia. And so if we think that, well, momentum's going to win this election, no, it's not. Voting is going to win the election. And if we think that's all we can do, no, it's not. We can go, we can get certified to be poll watchers. We can ensure that we have a safe and an election of integrity. And so I just want to use that as an example of here's someone who has, much like Donald Trump, could be doing a lot of other things. She's been in DeKalb County and in Fulton County this week watching the polls.
That's servant leadership, bro. That's what we saw. I mean, listen, man, we put up this photo of Trump and people just go nuts. It's him serving the fries.
That's
right. Like this era of servant leadership. This is why I say it's spiritual. So we ain't never seen billionaires act like Elon Musk or Kelly Loeffler doing the work. We've never seen billionaires serve fries at McDonald's in an apron.
Right.
I've never seen that. It's like the little Norman Rockwell wave inside of the drive-through window. That's why I say it's spiritual, because suddenly we're our leaders are going back to service. People used to say my entire life, Nick, people would say, you've been in politics for a long time. They'd say, oh, I served the American people. No, you freaking did it, man.
Right.
You didn't serve anyone but yourself. We know the Burisma deals. We've seen what the Bidens did.
Right.
You've served no one but you, bro. And now we're actually seeing people serve, and it's freaking heartwarming. It's beautiful.
Well, I can tell you, that picture is awesome for so many reasons. Somebody that knows the president really well personally, I can tell you this. The person to his right, Donald Trump cares more about that guy, okay? Spends more time thinking about that guy than anybody writing an algorithm to trade high-frequency stocks. It's not that person's unimportant to them. If they're an American, he's going to put forth an agenda that puts them forth first. But in his mind, there are plenty of people taking care of the guys on Wall Street. Yeah. The people that he would refer to in policy deliberations, usually around free trade and bringing manufacturing back to this country, are the exact policies that affect the guy to his right. And when you watch him and observed him walk around his golf courses or his hotels, he knew the names of the people cleaning the rooms, cleaning the bathrooms, making up the beds, serving the French fries, and was proud of them and concerned about them. And that's probably the one trait that his most passionate supporters, I think, that they believe to be true. I know it to be true. I've seen it play out, and it's one of the many admirable qualities.
Yeah. Well, here's to waving goodbye to Kamala Harris, and I hope that Trump pulls one of these out the White House window. I think maybe if you push hard enough, you could open one of the windows, and Trump he has the chance to do the funniest thing, Nick.
Right.
On Inauguration Day, he has the chance to do the single funniest thing, which is to remake the meme when Kamala drives away.
It's wonderful.
Hey, God bless you, man. I really hope that I know that you don't do much of this, and so we're honored to have you on the program. It's important it's more important than ever to speak the truth. Speak it or lose it, quite frankly, to the liars. And so we appreciate you coming on, man. Everybody needs to go follow Nick, obviously. Just an absolute G. Somebody who literally helps run the diaper brand, a great Every Life diaper brand, and Public Square. It's awesome to partner with them. And dude, you can just take it to the bank. Adult diapers on Election Day. Just a thought, adult diapers on Election Day. It's a free thought, okay? You don't come to me for business ideas often, but just a free one.
I'll call Sarah Gable, our CEO, when we hang up and tell them to, build out the SKU, get them ready. She's got 10 days.
Can I invest in tissues and adult diapers? Please,
yeah, right.
For Election Day, it'll be huge. Thank you, Nick. God bless you, man.
Thanks, Benny.
All right, lots of fun. Too much fun. What do we say? We say criminal amounts of fun. Criminal amounts of fun. Lock us up. Try it, coppa. Actually, we have a man on the street We have a man on the street that'll be released this weekend on our Benny on the Block channel. Shout out Benny on the Block channel. Put it up. That's we did almost get arrested. We didn't get arrested. Man, these like rental cop like security guards on the campus that we film on. That's right next to the studio. Man, they hate us. They gotta all be Kamala supporters. Oh, poor guys. Anyway, new Benny on the Block this weekend. Plus Benny in the hood, I guess. I mean, we're not gonna make a new channel, but we went. Plus that'll be up this weekend also. So make sure that you're subscribed, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, locking in. We got so much still to get to in the polls. The polls are breaking so hard for President Trump. President Trump's now tied in the national average. This is they'll tell you it's a dead heat. No, guys, no, it's not dead heat. It's about momentum in these things. Oh, they're tied. First off, half these polls are rigged. Half these polls do only New York and California and call it a national poll. No, man. Donald Trump being tied, Donald Trump was down 10 points at this point to Joe Biden and 6 or 5 points to Hillary Clinton. Trump being tied, that's doomsday. And Trump has made up a massive deficit with Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is up like 7 or 8. That's the momentum. Polls are a snapshot of momentum. Donald Trump's gobbled up all the polls. He's eating. Donald Trump's eating, okay? Kamala Harris is the one crying salty French fry tears. Look at this map. No toss-ups. Yo, I'm telling you, like, New Hampshire and Virginia may well be in play at this point. Look at this map. No toss-ups. Ooh, baby. The battlegrounds are rocking Trump. Look at that. Look at the Kamala collapse. Show the people. Look at the Kamala collapse. There she goes. There she goes. Steady as she blows. In the words of Axios. Polymarket. The prophecy must be foretold. See, Donald Trump must hit 69% on election day. It's got to happen. New York Times. Oh, boy. New York Times. Donald Trump. Oh, this has got to be painful to publish. New York Times poll is a bloodbath. Trump has improved with every single demographic nationwide since 2020. Check out these crosstabs. New York Times, October 2020 national poll had Biden ahead by 9. He only won by 4. Compare that to 2020 poll. Here are the changes. White college voters have now flipped to have not completely flipped to Trump, but have eroded to Trump. Trump doing better with white college. Trump doing better with non-whites. White non-college, significantly better. Doing orders of magnitude better with black voters and with Hispanic voters. Increased by 12 points. Doubled his support with black voters. Doubled it. Wait till you see what we did in Fulton County, man. Is gonna blow you away. I still think these numbers actually lie. Donald Trump increasing with men, increasing with women. Donald Trump up 7 points with women. What does that show you? Ladies and gentlemen, this is so interesting. Mark Penn on the trends. Mark Penn's very, very smart homie. He was the EVP, Executive Vice President of Strategy at Microsoft. Smart man. Polls are a snapshot in time of underlying changes. The New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Forbes all show 3 or 4 point movements in the direction of Trump in the last few weeks. This is real movement. This is real momentum. This is going to close. This is a substantial move, says Mark Penn. Man. So look at this. New poll. Trump is getting record levels of support among black and Latino young men. Politico writing this, even though the rock salt pouring from their face, hitting their keyboard, makes it so hard to type. Oh, I can't type. We're crying. New York Post endorses Trump. An absolutely epic cover. Look at that. New York Post cover. Do we have the cover? I'm sure it's in the article. Let's go ahead and look. If not, then the cover, there it is, right there. Back to the Future. That's what I'm looking for. Back to the Future. Come on, baby. That's a great cover. Look at that. That's great, man. The clear choice for a better future. I love that. The Democrats are losing it. They're pointing fingers. Kamala's campaigning with celebrities. Why? It doesn't make any sense. Kamala's going to go visit Houston with Beyonce. Okay. What the hell's that about? This is how poorly the Kamala Harris campaign is performing. Tuesday, no campaign events or rallies. Wednesday, no campaign events or rallies. Thursday, one rally in Georgia where everyone was leaving. I'm not sure if we have that clip, but everyone's leaving. I know our awesome producer Danny put it up and it went viral. There's a video of so Bruce Springsteen, who looks just like Tilda Swinton in his like decrepit old age, left the nursing home and the Social Security rolls to go play an incredibly cringe concert. I mean, it was bad. Like, it's bad music. Yo, it's bad music. We should get a clip of Springsteen. There's a clip going around. Like, like, dude has lost the ability to play. Dude sounded terrible. And everyone left. They said, wow, we have so many people at the rally. You know, like Donald Trump had 20,000 people at his rally. And, like, Jason Aldean, Jason Aldean was there. Jason Aldean didn't play. It wasn't a free concert. It wasn't a free Jason Aldean concert. You can go fill up any stadium in America of 20,000 people for a free Jason Aldean concert. Just the other night, Jason Aldean walked up and he's like, Trump's the man. Boom, here's Trump. That's what Jason Aldean said. Nobody showed up to hear a free concert. Yet people like fled the Kamala concert. There you go. After Tilda Swinton played. See ya. Yeah, we're done. Look at all the empty seats. What a mess. Friday, rally in Texas up against the World Series. Genius, really. Genius. There's only one rally in a swing state in 4 days. This is total amateur hour. Oh, did you find the clip? Does he sound bad, ALX? I haven't watched the clip. Does he sound bad? All right. Do you guys want to see Tilda Swinton? Here we go.
Big carving you up all right. Say you gotta stay hungry. Well, I'm just about starving tonight. I'm dying for some action. I'm sick of sitting around here trying to write this book. I need a love reaction.
What the hell is
Come
this?
on now, baby, give me just one look. You can't start a fire.
Bro, you sound terrible,
Sitting
yo.
around crying over a broken heart. This gun's for hire.
What?
Even if we're just dancing in the dark, you can't start a fire. Worrying about your little world falling apart. This gun's for hire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
What is that? What is that? What was that? Put that up. Show me, like, what? Do you see what I mean when I say Tilda Swinton? Do you guys know who Tilda Swinton is? Do you guys know that she's a famous actress? Okay, no hate on Tilda Swinton, but something terrible is happening to Bruce Springsteen. Okay, it's just, has anybody ever seen Bruce Springsteen and Tilda Swinton in the same room together? Here, see, look there. You know who this person is? I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just saying. What a disaster. How many Diddy tapes they got on Bruce Springsteen? You know, what were you doing at the Diddy party? Bruce. What were you doing? What do they got on you, pal? It's not worth it. It's not worth it, bro. What is this? Why do you look like that? There's something so disconcerting about this image. Ugh. Cursed image. Cursed image. Wow. Breaking. The Washington Post won't endorse in White House race for the first time since 1980. Ladies and gentlemen, the Washington Post is not endorsing? This is nuts. I can't believe it. They probably saw the Bruce Springsteen concert. That put them over the edge. They're like, we're backing Trump. We can't take it anymore. Amazing. It's incredible. The role, the absolute. This is following the New York Times. I'm sorry, correction, the LA Times. Got that right. They didn't endorse, right, Alex? LA Times didn't endorse. I got to tell you, this is probably what's happening. Apparently what's happening is the people who run these failing news sites are saying, well, we got to get all the money we can. We got to take all the money we can get. Trump straight up saying he's going to cut all income taxes. What I mean by cut is not we're going to take your income taxes down a percent or 2. What I mean is no income tax. Sorry to yell. I'm excited. I'm very excited. And this policy is unhinged, meaning it's unhinged from the slow creep to Marxism that we've been on for a very long time. And then they brought in the slowest creep ever, Joe Biden, to get us across the finish line. And Kamala's going to be the closer. And Donald Trump saying, no, actually, there shouldn't be an income tax because that's unconstitutional. If you were to go back in time and tell our founders who literally committed violence against their British captors, the British Empire decided that violence was preferable to a 2% tax on tea. And you were to tell them that the federal government is going to take half of all of our incomes. Half of your income, half of my income, half our staff's income. The federal government is going to take half of it. The founders would have said, hey, listen, Tom, would you please write into our Constitution that an income tax is completely and totally illegal? Let's just make one more amendment, please. Let's please add one more. And then on top of that, what I would do if I was time traveling is I'd show them this photo right here. I'd be like, you've got to prevent. You just got to make a law. Trust me on this, boys. Make a law against Bruce Swintonstein playing shows for Kamala Harris. It's not going to make any sense to you guys, okay? But your great-great-great-grandkids will thank you. All right? Okay. Donald Trump flirts with the ultimate tax cut. No income tax at all. The former president has repeatedly praised a period of American history where there was no income tax. The country relied on tariffs to fund the government. Oh, man. Oh. Got to tell you, that is completely terrifying to the Washington, D.C. establishment that exists forever off the glut that is drunk like one of those mosquitoes that can't like unhook with the bloodsuckers. When the mosquito gets so big it pops. Yeah. Like a tick. That government bureaucracy is on our back. And I lived in it, man. I lived in it for a long time. I never accepted a taxpayer-funded salary ever. Okay? Not me. But all my neighbors, everybody else that I knew, they all like lived off that. And all of them were worthless. Not worthless people, but the jobs they do were worthless. All right? And it's all because of it's all because of how successful this country is. Imagine how successful this country would be without the federal government burning all of our dollars, taking half of our income. Imagine what you would do with double the income. These people are monsters. Look at CNN. This is what I mean adult diapers. This is what I mean that Nick's got to get into adult diapers. Look at Harry Enton on CNN. He's like the pollster CNN brings out. We actually love this guy because he kind of like just spits fire. He just says it as it is. Harry Enton straight up confirming what this program has been telling you for a long time. Now, these people that came for us, all right, these libs, they clipped our show and they said, LOL, Benny saying Trump will win the popular vote. Isn't Benny dumb? Benny's stupid. Yeah? Yeah. Ah, ha, 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 ha. He's so dumb. They all said. Okay. Okay. Hey, libs who clicked the show. Come here. I got something to show you. Come here. Here. Watch this, asshats.
May finally get his great white whale. Harris versus Trump national margin. You mentioned that New York Times poll, a tie. That's actually right in the middle of the spectrum when we're talking about recent polling data. You don't have to look very far to find Donald Trump ahead nationally. He was up by 2 points in the CNBC poll, up by 3 in the Wall Street Journal poll. Very close races within the margin of error. But then the same thing on the other side, right? You have Harris up by 3 points according to Ipsos. The Say 24 YouGov poll, it's a bunch of academics, also has Harris up by 3. But the bottom line is, with the popular vote, which we really haven't focused upon, a very, very tight race, John. Fact is, Donald Trump is very much in a position he could win the popular vote, which, of course, is something he would absolutely love to do.
And would be something very different than we have seen compared to last time and the polling compared to last time.
Exactly right. So I went back through the time machine, all right? I went back through the time machine to see where were the past 2 races at this point in the campaign. Look, Harris in the average poll right now is up by 1, well within the margin of error. You go back 4 years ago, Joe Biden was well ahead of Donald Trump in the national popular vote polls. He was up by 9. Even Hillary Clinton was up by 6 points. So now Donald Trump's in a position he really hasn't been before at this point in the campaign where he could truly compete, and we can truly say that the popular vote at this point is way too close to call.
I drink your milkshake. I drink your tears. They taste like delicious chocolate gumdrops. Freaking libs. I got a list of you people. We nuke them online. We got a much bigger following than them. We nuke them. It's fun. I got a list of you people that make fun of our show, make fun of this beautiful audience. Look at you. Look at this beautiful audience. I love you. Look at the chat. I love you. Hearts. Hearts from us to you. Hearts to the chat. We love you. Okay? We love you. Robbie, can you toss up a couple of chats? We love you. You believed in us, and you follow the show. You believe in us. You get entertained. You salt the libs every single weekday with us. And you were right. You were right. We were right. 69% as it is predicted. We love the chat. We do the show live. Of course we do the show live. Everyone else claims they do it live. Some of these people, they pre-record. Do you know that? We do it live. And those people, they made fun of you and me. They made fun of us. They said, no, Trump will never win the popular vote. Hardy har har. Well, why don't you shove that CNN clip in your pipes and smoke it like Hunter Biden on a bender inside of Lancelot's castle? Freaking libs. Yeah, give me some salt for those libs. We love the chat. The chat just rolls right in front of us the entire show. We love the chat. We live for the chat. We're in the chat. We with y'all. We are geniuses, Monique. Monique Pichet. Monique. That's right. I love you back. We love you back, Sunshine Miller. And thank you for the salt. Cube. And thank you, Nick. All right, here we go. Harry Enton. Harry Enton is back. We're going to call him Harry Enema because he's back with another exciting enema for our dear, sweet libs that get paid by George Soros to clip the show and make fun of us. We don't care. Keep clipping. We love it. Give us the free promotion. I'll take it any day. I want you to keep doing it. I beg you to keep doing it. The more you do it, the more popular we get. It makes us so happy. Here's Harry Enema with another enema for you libs. Enjoy.
Whereby Trump wins all the key Great Lake battleground states, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada, and he gets to 312 electoral
And
votes.
that's even better than Trump did in 2016.
Exactly right. So based upon what we see with the average polling error and how close the states are at this point, if all of the states move in one direction, one of these candidates could score a relative blowout in the Electoral College, win 300-plus electoral votes.
What does history tell us about the possibility of all these states moving in one direction?
History tells us that it is more likely than not that all of the swing state polling errors would move in one direction. So in 2012, 92% of the states moved in Obama's direction. That is, the polls underdid Obama. In 2016, 83% of the swing states moved together because the polls underdid Donald Trump. Of course, we all remember that. And how about in 2020? 100% of the swing state polling averages underestimated Donald Trump, and so he did better than a lot of folks thought. So this time around, don't be surprised if the swing state polls, when they underestimate one candidate, they underestimate all of them in the states, and that would lead to a relative Electoral College blowout with one of the candidates winning at least 300 electoral
And Harry,
votes.
CNN saying that Trump's going to win the national vote, the popular vote, and that Kamala, in an incredible turn of events, is going to get blown out. There's a huge reversal, by the way, for the way that it normally goes. Whoa! You mean whoa? Boys, are we back? Yeah, we're back, boys. Oh, man. We're back. If you're in New York, we will be heading to Madison Square Garden. Just letting you know. We're going to be out, yeah. If you're in New York, we're going to be in Madison Square. Madison Square Garden. We're going to do some man on the streets. We're going to be going, sitting with Trump. We're going to be hanging out. So if you're in New York, hit up your boy, okay? We'd love to see you. We'd love to meet you. Meet so many wonderful people at these Trump events. The chat. My producers tell me the chat is rocking and rolling. Can we let's just do comments through the rest of the show, can we? Robbie, just toss up fun comments. Robbie complains that the comments come in too fast. Okay. So you're coming in too fast for our boy Robbie. But here we go. And Danny trolled me. Producer Danny trolled me and said, I said we love you. I said I love you back, and then he gives me this Kamala clip, which is actually the way I should have said it. I love you back.
I love you back.
I love you back. Except for I don't hate you. See, that's the thing. It's like if I hated you and I thought you were an idiot, then I would use fake accents with you. Actually, my favorite comment from our free gas video, which predominantly the people that came up and got free gas were black. Okay? That was the part of the town. That was just the neighborhoods of the town that we were in when we were in Tampa. All right. So the number one comment, I hope we pin this comment. We should pin this comment is Benny didn't use a fake accent one time talking with these people. Yeah. No, you won't find that because that's actually incredibly insulting. In fact, it's like ridiculously insulting. If I'm like out here changing my accent because I'm talking with a Hispanic person. Are you okay? Are you okay? We got Uber Eats. We got Uber Eats to the studio this morning because everyone's been working like literally. We've been working like overnight. Are you okay? The driver happened to be Hispanic. I didn't use a fake accent. I assure you, I didn't wear a sombrero, right, and run out there like Speedy Gonzalez to get the Uber Eats. Although I was very, very excited to get it. Okay, here we go. The backfire is here. Backfire's here. Producer's telling me I got to keep moving. Backfire's here. The Hitler backfire is here. Yes, that's right. So we'll call this Hitler-mageddon. I guess we're now here in the news cycle. Hitler-mageddon, Hitler backfire. Undecideds are being like, wait a second, your closing argument is that Trump's Hitler. You've been teasing this stuff for a long time. Your closing argument is that Donald Trump's Hitler. That's what you got for us. Nothing about the border, nothing about the economy, nothing about forever war. That's it? Nothing about my grocery prices or my gas prices? Really now?
I can't. I think part of the reason why I'm being pushed towards Trump so strongly is that I find that the Democrats and the left just keep going straight to Hitler all of the time with everything. Like it, and if it's not the left pushing Hitler, it's the right pushing Stalin. So it's like we're fighting World War II every single day for every single election. So it's so exhausting. I think it just detracts from, it pushes me away from their position, and it, it's so hyperbolic that it makes it impossible to have good discussions, and I think it ruins the discourse.
Does anybody think it's valuable or something you want to hear from the vice president? Anybody? Raise your hand if you think this is something that's important for her to be talking about. Anybody?
Mark Halperin doing the old Zoom call, and those are all independents, right? They're all independents, and by the look, I mean, it doesn't look like no one's lying there. Those are independents, right? You kind of like see that it's not like MAGA truck drivers. These are like people to be convinced. And love MAGA truck drivers. We hung out all week with MAGA truck drivers. But like what I'm saying there is like there are real independents in America. It's like, did the Hitler thing work on you? Here's why. Here's Hitler yesterday hanging out in a Cuban restaurant next to a sombreroed version of himself. Because it's sombrero Trump. This is Trump yesterday with Vivek Ramaswamy. Marco Rubio. In a Cuban restaurant in Vegas. There's Trump in a sombrero. and a boombox. Chilling out with the Cubans. High-level Hitler activity here for Trump. It's so insane how desperate they are. They're so sad. The modern-day Democrat Party is that psychotic, overly medicated girlfriend. There it is. That psychotic, overly medicated girlfriend that's like off her meds and texting you. She's the ex-girlfriend. She's the ex-girlfriend. You dumped her like 3 years ago. She's nuts. She's crazy. And she's like texting you, right? And she's on a bender. Shut up! You're crazy. Stop taking crazy pills. Look at Trump. No photos of Hitler with a sombrero. I'm just going to state that for the historical record. That's literally true. Okay, there we go. Mark Halperin saying that the town hall that we covered yesterday with Kamala Harris is the last straw. So he's saying that Kamala Harris being incapable of answering questions at her own town hall. This is Kamala Harris debating herself on CNN. And boy, do we ever have a CNN clip for you. The CNN clip down to all CNN clips. Kamala Harris debating herself on CNN and losing somehow a debate with the mirror made people say, nope, not going to vote for her. Go.
I think the biggest story of the news cycle is, along with Trump loves Hitler, which we'll talk about, is her performance last night was the last straw for a lot of Democrats. No more. The more she does it, the better she'll get. Dan, talk about what you viewed about her performance last night. Why it's considered in Democratic circles to be such a disaster.
Yeah, I think the good news was she drove her message. As you said, Trump, the Hitler remark, Trump is a fascist. That is in most headlines, in most opening paragraphs of the story. And for people who don't pay attention day in and day out and glance at the news, in that regard, it was mission accomplished. The challenge is, as we've talked about now going back to August, is, and you heard it in the questions that were asked to her last night, people who want to know more about her. And what you saw last night, time and again, was when she was asked a question, and I don't believe a single question was like totally out of the blue where like, anyone on this Zoom would be taken aback of like, ooh, that's a curveball.
Nobody had anything nice to say about Kamala Harris on CNN. Not even the CNN guys, as we played you yesterday, not even the dudes on CNN they're paid to be propagandists for Kamala Harris. The guys who ran Obama's campaign, David Axelrod, he's like word salad city for Kamala Harris. They know. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Anderson Cooper who moderated that little CNN town hall, and Anderson Cooper who had a unbelievably embarrassing clip go viral just in time. I mean, it could happen to a better Vanderbilt. Yesterday, Charlamagne the God went on Anderson Cooper's show and was like, "Why are you obsessed with whether Kamala Harris is black or not?" And Anderson Cooper had himself a little meltdown. You can tell that Anderson Cooper is not used to being challenged on his own show. I don't think anybody comes out of this exchange looking good. But I think these two people who both like cry into their pillows and bite on their bite sticks every night, like thinking about Kamala Harris. Like, I think these guys deserve to be made fun of. I have a soft place in my heart for Charlamagne because he does bring on people like Laura Trump and like Republicans, and I think that's good. I think it's positive. The Breakfast Club, his show, does do that. So good on them. Charlamagne the God explodes on Anderson Cooper during tense exchange for Kamala Harris and race. Oh, the awkwardness of Anderson Cooper in this exchange is so fun. It's our salt that lip of the day. Anderson Cooper apparently needs the extra salty white hair coloring. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's help Anderson Cooper. Give me that sweet salt during our salt.
Conversations about it. I feel like I heard more on this network about is Kamala Harris black than I do about Donald Trump being a fascist.
Well,
am I wrong, Angelo?
Honestly, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I like that.
That's
no,
Go
that
ahead,
is
that. No, I'm not. Look, I'm a huge fan of yours. Okay. But to say that we're sitting around discussing is Kamala Harris black, like
I've seen that. I've seen those roundtable discussions a lot. Now that's bullshit, Anderson. For you to say that y'all don't have those conversations.
I've never asked somebody is.
Oh, I'm not saying
Kamala
you.
Harris
I said the
black.
network.
He said the network.
I don't think anyone I don't think any anchor on this network has been going around saying, "Is she black?"
Y'all have never had
we have had. Look, I'm sure we have had, nutty people or people who have strongly held beliefs who I may disagree with, who somewhere on some panel have said something, but I will just speak up for what I do on the show. I do believe it's important to get people different viewpoints as long as they're willing to have a legitimate conversation. What I don't like are surrogates who come out and just spout talking points that they don't even believe, and those are people I tried to eliminate from having ever on the air again.
I think no network has honest conversations about Donald Trump. Nobody's had honest conversations about Donald Trump since 2016. I saw last night they were talking about, the double standard that exists between Donald Trump and the vice president, but it's always a double standard with Trump, whether it's with Hillary, whether it's, against Biden, now with Kamala. We talk about him being a threat to democracy, but we don't treat him like one.
I don't know what you've been watching, but I don't know of any Trump supporters out there or people who like him who are tuning in to me every night to try to get, to be validated in their opinions. I don't know. I don't know. I disagree.
I don't think it's about validating. What do you mean, validating the Trump?
Well, you're saying that we're not. That I guess you're saying I'm not discussing all the things he is saying and doing and pointing it out and talking to what John Kelly. I mean.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we had a little mic glitch fix, and there we go, and back at it. Okay, hey, we do the show live. I bet Anderson Cooper was kind of sad that he did the show live last night. Isn't that incredible? Like, if somebody came on these airwaves, and wanted to express legitimate criticism of what we were doing, at least I wouldn't start crying. I wouldn't start crying rock salt tears, and I'm like being like I'd probably laugh in their face. Here's a truism about like being a man. All right, we'll explain this to Anderson Cooper. You know, Anderson Cooper's a lot older than we are. Can you give me that funny photo of Anderson Cooper in the water where he's like trying to act like it's really flooded, but it's not? And you can see the cameraman standing in like 2 inches of water, and Anderson Cooper's like waist deep. Can you get me that? Let me give Anderson Cooper a little lesson being a man. Okay, here we go, bro. If it's not like true, then you don't have to be. You don't like be a cry, whiny little baby about it. There'll be a little cry baby. Okay? If it's actually not true, then don't like do all the cursing and sobbing, crying, being all defensive. That's not how a man acts. Like 200,000 times a day, somebody says something untrue about this show on the internet or us or whatever. Okay? Like, imagine if I spent my days crying and whining about every one of those things. I'd be in a tear puddle about this deep. I freaking love this photo. Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper looking just like Derek Zoolander. Just like Derek Yeah, I'm out here reporting from the water. Dude. Please help make CNN's studio look like this on election night. This is the amount of tears that you and I can create live. We'll be live. We can create this amount of tears for CNN studio. They will have to bring out those waiters again. They'll have to bring them out. They'll have to bring the waiters out of the CNN closet again and put everyone in the old rubber waiters and have them all wade through their tears. We can do it. Get out and vote. Vote. I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote after I leave the studio today. I'm going to go vote. I'm going to vote early. I'm going to vote in person. That's what I'm going to do. We can make it happen. CNN's already prepping them for it. They're saying Trump may landslide. It may be a landslide for Trump. Killer Klein saying he's got something for me. What do we got? Oh, okay. Here's Anderson Cooper getting hit by a Trump sign. and getting hit by tears. So these are the tears of libs spraying into Anderson's face and a Trump sign. This is actually, I think, from a recent hurricane, was it not? Yeah. Bradenton is right around the corner from us here, where we broadcast. So there it is. That's really good. This is very, very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We bring in ALX on real fast. Can ALX to confirm if ALX can come on? I want ALX to talk about Madison Square Garden this weekend and what we can expect for coverage this weekend. And ALX will be with us in New York City. ALX, good to come on. What up, my dog? We're gonna go to. Oh no, we got the muted. ALX, you're muted, buddy. We're gonna fix it. Robbie, you're gonna green room ALX. I want to get an update. ALX is coming with us to Manhattan. We'll do some Ask Benny Anything, and we'll get ALX. We were having mic issues. We had to reset mic. We were having a mic issue, and it might have gone to ALX. We'll see. We're gonna get ALX mics fixed. He's gonna give us an update on what we're gonna do in Madison Square Garden and in New York this weekend. He'll be producing, so he'll know. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ask Benny Anything, and then we'll pop ALX back on when his audio is working. Kelly Kirk. What kind of effect is Obama filling in for Kamala going to have on the election? Is it something to worry about? No, because nobody likes Barack Obama. I mean, listen, the people who like Barack Obama already like Barack Obama. Most people don't like. Most people. Take a step back. Barack Obama was the best thing to happen to the Republican Party in my lifetime. Let me explain. Barack Obama brought us Donald Trump. Barack Obama's radicalism actually created the conditions for Donald Trump to become president. Donald Trump became president. Barack Obama lost 1,200 different Democrat seats and positions throughout the country. The country forever changed because of Barack Obama. You remember Ohio and Florida being swing states? They're red states now. Barack Obama is the greatest thing to ever happen to the Republican Party. He's a turnout machine for Republicans. So thank you, Kelly Kirk, for your question. And the answer is that. Crystal Dobbins, can we get a McMaga meal? Yes! That would be awesome. I wish I ran McDonald's. I would totally, they'd be genius. They'd sell 1 trillion of them. We'd be eating them at lunch today. So, I would love to get a McMaga meal. There's probably a meme of that. Jerry, can you hunt, see if there's a McMaga meal meme? Jerry or the great, amazing Ashley? All right. But yeah, I'd love that. Lynn Shear says, when are you going to get Elon Musk as a guest? You know what? Couldn't be a better person to bring on here for the, are we good with ALX? No, ALX. Oh, okay. All right. It's still cracking on the mic. All right. I gotta stop banging the desk. I'll stop banging the desk. And we can't get ALX on. That's a shame. All right, ladies and gentlemen. They're telling me they got to fix the mic. Well, so be it. So be it, and it's worse when we're loud. Okay. It's a shame. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We will move forward by saying, we'll move forward by saying our verse of the day and saying we love all of you. Actually, you know what? We're gonna play one more clip. There's one more you got to see. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's a total legend, saying that Kamala Harris has the IQ.
Being voted on in days. What's your thoughts?
Oh man, that's a big question.
What's Trump?
I don't think it's going to surprise anyone who I vote for.
Well, so I mean, I'm gonna guess. We go in. Yeah. I'm gonna guess. Is that a bad guess?
I think it's a pretty good guess.
Well, what do you think the world will be like in a second term with President Trump's second term? A lot of people
I know what it'll be like if we let her in.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And that ain't good.
Yeah. Well,
miserable track record. Appalling track record.
No. And the border, right?
And she's got the IQ of a fence post.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are having some StreamYard issues. This is the technology that we use to stream. I'm sorry that ALX had a mic issue. We might have some crackling. That clip may have some crackling. So we're going to go straight to the verse of the day. All right, from the director of The Passion of the Christ to our verse of the day. Proverbs 1:32. Gullible people kill themselves because they're turning away, but whoever listens to me will live without worry and will be free from the dread of disaster. We are living in a spiritual moment with great spiritual energy. Do not be the gullible people who destroy themselves. Be the wise who listen to the word of the Lord. We certainly joined those ranks on this program. And we say, God bless you for tuning in, for following, and for being a member of the Benny Brigade as we march on to victory. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend in this, the greatest country on earth. May God bless you. We're going to win. See ya.
Welcome to the final presidential race at the Downs. They're at the gate, and they're off. Jumping out in the lead is Joe Has Dementia, and no, he doesn't, with shocking reality close behind. It's Joe Has Dementia and shocking reality. And now here comes a disastrous debate. A disastrous debate falls back as Kamala takes the reins. The honeymoon falls off quickly as word salad and cackling hyena move into position. And here comes nasty attitude, followed by no children and drinking heavily. Coming down the back stretch. Drinking heavily, moving ahead of word salad, but coming on the inside is bumbling interviews. It's bumbling interviews followed by I grew up in a middle-class family, nasty attitude, and I love Venn diagrams. A wide open border challenging for second going into the clubhouse turn. Passing on the rail is fake black accent, followed by I grew up in a middle-class family, fake Latin accent, and my husband slaps me. Here they come spinning out of the turn, word salad in the lead, but here comes unburdened by what has been. Biden was stronger and disappointed. Barry are neck and neck, and down the stretch they come. I did the fries is pulling away from I did the Willie Brown by a length. But coming in strong is Cut the Interview. Cut the Interview is passing awkward cringe. And I grew up in a middle-class family, and at the wire, it's nasty attitude. Word salad, a campaign in shambles, and at least I ain't Donald Trump.
The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest kings. And a dying legacy, media dillweeds. Soon will the Benny Show come to mind. The salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun. We sail for number one. Show come to mind. The salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun. We sail for number one. The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest king.